the Hoodie and Headband podcast show coming live to you on Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to my fellow brothers and sisters out there. See what's going on. But nah, man.
Our brothers and sisters. Like NECA, Janae, Kiki. Come on now.
Haley, how you forget Haley?
I was just gonna let that slide, to be honest. But yeah, Haley. I didn't want to be too biased, you know.
Fair.
But Haley, yeah. Talk about
it. Yeah. But yeah, no, shout out to everybody. Shout out to freedom.
Facts.
Big facts. Shout out to Texas. Because without Texas, we wouldn't have the Juneteenth. So do you research on that? But yeah, no, Tariq. I'm joined by my brother, co-host with the most. Tariq, how's your Juneteenth going, my brother?
It's been all right. You know, some places make you still work. So I had to work today. You know, I should have been off, but it's all good. You know, it's a regular day in life for me in the summer, which ain't very regular, but all in all, pretty good day. I can't complain. NBA season is over. WNBA season is in full effect, and getting towards NBA draft, NBA free agency season. So still a lot of basketball to talk about, still a lot of basketball to be played. We got Olympics coming up in a month. So it's a jam-packed summer.
That indeed it is.
I stepped dosing out here. Never mind.
I'm about to say, they're gonna call that a flagrant?
Here he go.
I'm picking up where I left off last episode.
Oh, I thought she was about to pull that. Pass it. Never mind, get shot. But how about you, bro?
I'm good, man. I had a good little Juneteenth, man. You know, I was off today, as I should be. Glad I was off. Got to spend some time with myself, get myself right. Went downtown to a little Juneteenth event, you know. Support some Black-owned businesses. I had a good Oreo caramel cheesecake. That joint was good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I posted on my story. Then I went to one of my favorite spots downtown, Day Seafood. Takeout spot, you know, good little seafood, you know, fish and shrimp. And then brought myself back to the crib. I'm watching the Pop Out, Kendrick Lamar, Ken and Friends. You know, sometimes you gotta pop out and show Negroes. I'm trying not to cuss, but sometimes you gotta pop out and show them, man. Got the game on, and we're gonna talk about the NBA, huh?
All right, Kendrick.
We're gonna talk about these NBA finals, man. And oh, my back hurts. See, I've been in the gym. I think I went too hard in the gym, and now I got a knot in my back. It's not it. No pun intended. But yeah, nah. So we here to talk about NBA finals, man. Celtics are your 2024 NBA champions. My fault. See who DJ must have brought up. But yeah. Boston Celtics won in 5, as predicted by Tariq and Pierre. Shout out to Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, man. Celtics took care of business, man. Yeah.
I mean,
what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? Jaylen Brown Finals MVP.
I'm not mad at it. I thought Tatum was gonna get it, but I'm not mad at that. I think they lean towards the defense instead of the offense. And while Tatum didn't shoot well, that offense was super productive when Jason Tatum had the ball in his hands. I guess you could say not necessarily when he was shooting the ball, but in terms of him passing, His playmaking in this series was phenomenal in my opinion. Um, he was really making things go at a lot of different times throughout the series, but Dallas just never really felt comfortable or looked confident outside of game 3 or no, game 4, sorry. Um, game 1, Boston came out kind of quick and Dallas was able to cut the lead a little bit and then Boston cut it right back or brought it right back up. Um, Same situation in game 2 for the most part. And then I don't know, I just felt like they didn't really believe in themselves enough to make things happen. Like the players that they were daring to shoot didn't trust them, didn't trust themselves enough to shoot. And then Boston just has too many players that can create and score and defend. And there's not a lot of teams that have 3 of those guys. They had 5 in the court at one time. When you have Drew Holiday, Derek White, Porzingis, Tatum, and Brown, all 5 of them can create for themselves or others can score and can defend at an elite level, if not one of the best, like top 5 level. So always a really hard team to beat, and they can all shoot the 3 too. So I think Joe Mazzulla did a good job of like forcing others to beat them, and they did. And Drew and Derek White did a phenomenal job on Kyrie. Like for Kyrie to play the way that he did, and a lot of people expected him coming into the series that he was gonna have a revenge series of sorts, and it's like, all right, you know what you're gonna get from Kyrie, you know what you're gonna get from Luka. It's the others. Well, we didn't really get what we expected from Kyrie, so that was one of the things that made this series more difficult for them. Is we didn't really see Kyrie be Kyrie until game 4, and then game 5 might have been even worse than any other game he had. I just feel like I think he might have let. Oh, I won't say he let, but I think everything, like all the past emotions and things like that, I think might have got to him, and that caused a lot of his struggles, and a lot of it probably was also Drew Holiday and the way that Boston was playing defense, because there's not a weak link on that starting lineup in terms of defense. Like if you're getting a switch, it's not like, oh, I got Cat on me now. Like, okay, I've got Porzingis. He's a 7-footer that can move his feet. Obviously, he was injured, but he moved his feet better in game 1 than he did, in game 5. But you got Tatum, you got Brown, you got Drew, you got Derek White. Like any of those 4 elite defenders and can cause a tough shot for anybody, especially a guy that, I know people were talking about like the tough shot conversation or discourse or whatever, like tough shot makers and tough shot takers and things like that. And I think Kyrie's like, he doesn't only take tough shots, but his game just is so fluid that it feels like every shot that he takes is tough. But when you live off the kind of shots that he does take, you have to live and die with the make or misses. Like there are some players that, there are elite players that get to their spots and get good shots every time. And if they're missing, then it's like, all right, that's weird because that's an easy shot. Not easy shot, but like that's a very normal shot for them. But for guys like Luka, Kyrie, James Harden, like when you're 1 for 8, 1 for 9, and you're trying to get into a rhythm and all your shots are tough, that's a very hard hole to climb out of. So credit to Boston's defense, credit to Joe Mazzulla for making the adjustments that he needs to make throughout the series. I mean, he really didn't have to make that much, but Jaylen Brown just decided to, like, I'm guarding Luka, and I don't care if he's on the court. Like, if he's on the court, I'm on the court. Fighting over screens and just trying to make the series as difficult as possible for Luka, and I would say he did that. Definitely want to give the flowers to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I mean, they've been at this, Jaylen Brown, 8 years, Tatum for 7, and they've been knocking on the door for 5 out of the 7 years that Tatum has been in the league, and he's finally able to push through and finally win that championship. And I know a lot of people made the jokes about his quotes and all that. Like, people just have to find something to make fun of rather than give dudes credit for what they have done or what they achieved. So I don't really think too much into that, but I think it is as much as I dislike Boston, more so growing up, I don't really have the I hate Boston in my heart no more, because I don't really hate no teams besides the Cowboys and the Yankees. Like, just I don't need them winning nothing. Like, come on, bro. Why you doing that? You know what it is.
I know.
Like, those are the only 2 teams that I really just dislike. Everybody else, I'm like, if they win, they win. Like, but seeing Tatum, the emotion that he was showing, and that he was going through, like, as the time was ticking down, it's like you think about the rookie season where, the Game 7, he dunks on Braun, and looks like Boston is going to the finals a couple years early. Then LeBron does LeBron things. They don't end up going. They have some struggles where they lose before the conference finals, and then they lose in the conference finals to Miami in 2020, come back in 2021, not fully healthy with Jaylen Brown being out. They lose to Brooklyn, and then you come back 2022, team's healthy again. You bring back Al Horford to get to the finals. And people, some people think that, or a lot of people think that Boston still should have won that, or they had the talent to win it. And I would agree that they had the talent to win it. I just don't know if they had the experience and the mental fortitude to win it, and that's why they didn't. Also, Steph Curry was just like playing like one of the greatest players we've ever seen. So that's definitely not an easy task to try to stop. And then last year, obviously the debacle, going down 3-0, coming back, making it a Game 7, and then losing on their home floor. So they've had some heartbreaks, they've had some highs, some lows, and for that to all come full circle, and they win it on their home court. Jaylen Brown get Finals MVP, and then when he gets it, immediately shares the shine with Jason Tatum, which I thought was awesome, because for so many years, every time they've lost in the playoffs, it's all right, which one do you trade, or can they win together, or is Jaylen Brown worth the money? And now Jason Tatum is up for money, so now it's like, oh, do you want to pay $200-300 million contract? It's like, what are we even talking about? These dudes just won a championship. Of course you want to pay the money. Like, so it's really just, it's cool to see. I wish more people would just like enjoy the fact that, a young player, a young star in this league has added to his resume. I mean, we've been asking all season, what young star, what young NBA up and comer is going to, take that next step. And Jason Tatum just solidified his status among the greats. I wouldn't say like all time greats, but he's in that conversation now because he's got a championship. Like, when you get a ring and you're a pivotal piece of that, the way he was and is, you're always going to be in those kinds of conversations. So, and it don't seem like they're slowing down anytime soon. So that's another thing. It's just like, just seeing them, seeing how they continue to build off what they have, because while their starting lineup is fantastic, their bench could still be better. And I don't know how you really go and fix that, because they obviously don't have a ton of money because of the starting lineup. But, for what they were able to do with the bench that they had, I think that's a testament to, the starters that they had, and Joe Mazzulla, putting the players in the right positions and things like that, like letting a Sam Hauser and a Peyton Pritchard really excel when they were on the floor. So, yeah, just shout out to Boston, shout out Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, shout out Al Horford, finally getting his ring. I think 17 seasons in the league now.
Shout out to Big Al.
Well deserved. I mean, he's had a phenomenal career. He's been an all-star. He's been on content. It seems like he's been on playoff teams like every year of his career. Outside of that OKC year where
Oh Lord, I forgot about
they were
that.
tanking, but he's always been on a contending teams. It feels like, and he's always been like on that doorstep. And now he decided or took a lesser role, and it led to them winning the championship. And I think he had the most playoff games without a championship
Yeah,
before that, and
he has the which one call it?
now it's Westbrook. I think they said maybe
No, it's harder now.
it's James Harden. James Harden. James Harden.
Yeah.
Um. So, I mean, there's a ton of players. Like, say what you want about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, whatever you want to say. Like, you can make your jokes, but there's a lot of players that we love and that have been revered and are still revered to this day that do not have a championship.
Yep.
Whether luck wasn't on their side or they just didn't make plays when they needed to make them. Like, say what you want, but they made the plays. They took over when they needed to. They made the proper adjustments when they needed to, and they have something that a lot of players on their tier can't say. Like, Jason Tatum has peers that people are looking at and saying that they're better than him. Like, people were telling, I've seen people say that Shea is better than him. I'm not completely sure that Shea is a better player than Jason Tatum.
Nah.
And I don't care what nobody says. I know people have been saying it like it's just 100% facts. I don't believe that. Like, I'm taking the 6'8" wing, 6'9" wing that can defend at a high level, score at a high level, play make at a high level versus the two guard that's like 6'5". Like, that's, I mean, and I'm not that's not me saying that Shea's a bad player or anything like that. I just think the mode of Tatum versus the mode of Shea, just you would want that on your team rather than the mode of Shea. Like, I don't know. I think people just like to push down Tatum now, and it's crazy because like 2 years ago, people were like, "Oh yeah, he's top 5," and now all of a sudden he's like 8 or 9. What did he do in the last 2 years to fall? You mean to tell me that these other players just got so much better that they're surpassing him? Like, I don't know, man. I some stuff is just weird. Like, I know
Very.
people don't really like people don't really like basketball, but it is like really like concerning at times. It's like,
No,
what do
for
y'all
sure.
like? Y'all really like give? I wouldn't even say give this much time in y'all lives, but y'all give so much of y'all's lives to just being on social media apps and
Being a hater.
just being like dead negative for no reason. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
like
crazy.
yeah. The Tatum hate is weird. It's always been weird. Always will be weird. I mean, I get where it kind of comes from, him being the Kobe guy and everything, whatever, him trying to model himself out of Kobe after Kobe and stuff, which I mean I get, like Kobe was a mentor to him, as was Kyrie. Like these guys, were under his tutelage and they both meant a lot. Well, he meant a lot to both of their lives and stuff. So I mean, obviously they're gonna have and be influenced by him and want to do good and just honor him because he's no longer with us. But in terms of Tatum though, Tatum gets slandered for having the best team record and being the better, like one of the best players on the best teams in the league, or the best team in the league. They had the best record this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get Tatum slanted as far as like his game. Sometimes he doesn't play like his size, or sometimes he just plays a little passive, whatever. I get that, but it's just a weird slander where it's just like, oh, Tatum's not good. Tatum this, Tatum that. I'm like, bro, you guys are actually watching the game and seeing like what's going on, or you just looking at the stat sheet, or you just looking at the discourse that's on the timeline. Like I mean, I think it's funny when I look on the TL and see like, oh, if Jason Tatum would have did this, his team would have won. I think it's just a funny meme. But I mean, other than that, though, I think Jason was a good player, and the numbers prove it. Like he led the team in all statistical categories as far as like total points, rebounds, assists. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and he was the fourth player to do so. Other three players are LeBron, Kobe, and Tim Duncan.
Great list to be a part of.
Bro, I say that's incredible company to be part of, bro. Like I don't know,
It's,
man. I know this team. The sky's the limit for this team, bro. As you mentioned, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been together since Tatum's rookie season. and they've been, battle tested. I saw somebody talk about how they went through or they've gone through what Braun, Steph, they had to go through Braun, had to go through Steph,
KD,
Giannis, KD.
Harden.
Mm. I want to say Harden because Harden's like a third option on that team. I mean, still, yeah, but I'm saying like with the tweets that
Still,
it was like the leading people.
mm,
If I could find a tweet, which I will try and find a tweet because I think I might have retweeted it.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah, I'll say that. Embiid.
Oh, well, they
I
cooking
mean,
them.
well, they cook Embiid all the time though. So
So
I'm
then
saying Embiid ain't even a what you call it.
he talking about, oh, they not a dynasty. Well, duh, because they only won one championship. But boy,
But I
you,
said I think we a little too early on the dynasty talk. But I mean, hey,
I
this
mean,
could be
people
this could be
people
step one in that dynasty. You know?
people tried to do it with Denver last year. It's like, oh, I don't think nobody's gonna beat them. And then obviously, by the end of the offseason, it's some teams that have added significant pieces, and Denver stayed
Yeah.
with what they had, and I think that came back to bite them in the end. I think they were just thinking, okay, every year we've been in the playoffs. Look, Jokic and Jamal have been the best two players on the floor in any series they've been in,
Yeah,
regardless
can't
of
find
on
it.
the other
Oh well.
side, and it just wasn't the case this year.
Yeah.
But I don't like saying like, oh, they should do this for years to come because you never know what's gonna happen in terms of injuries and health
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So like in terms of talent, what they have on the paper, yes, they should win more championships down the line. And as young as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are, like 26 and 27 at this point, um, it's nothing. There's nothing right now that says they can't win 2 to 3 more. But again, comes with a lot of luck. It comes with a lot of being in the right place at the right time and just health. Really, health is probably the most important thing, and then just how other teams, try to combat what they have because now, every year, whatever team wins the championship, teams try to either model their team after or they try to gear their team up to stop them. So I'm very interested to see that how certain organizations try to slow down a Celtics team, or if more teams try to go with that mold of just having 5 players that can do everything on the court at the same time. Um, because I mean, they really just they create so much chaos because they can do so much on the court at the same time. So it's really difficult. So I'm curious to see how other teams try to combat that over the offseason.
Yeah. All the teams are gonna be. I mean, they're the team to beat now. Target on their back, reigning champs. I mean, they have a good chance. I have a good chance to repeat, but it's too early to really claim that now and say that now, based on the fact that yes, three teams are. What is the word you said just now? Not build up,
Gearing up.
gearing up, tooling up. Um, you still got the Western Conference that's stat. Jaws coming back next season. The Grizzlies don't know how they're gonna look. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves who are gonna try to build off what the season they had this year. Mavericks gonna want to come back. Nuggets gonna want to come back better. We gotta see how even in the East, the Bucks, Miami, the Knicks, 76ers, you know. We got a whole all season talk. I mean not talk, but we got a whole
Orlando.
all season ahead of us. Orlando.
Yeah. Don't sleep.
I'm not asleep.
Not no more.
No.
They ain't give you no choice. But I think for Dallas, I know this series made it look like their team, like a team that didn't have enough. And yeah, they definitely need to add some more, but I don't want people to think like, oh, we need to do this and this and this. Like some pieces around the edges, some shooting, obviously you want to add. When you have players like Kyrie and Luka, you want to surround them with shooting so that it makes it easier for them. And obviously, in this series, it was shown that they didn't have the shooting to compete with a team like Boston. Um, when they're forcing Derrick Jones Jr. to shoot threes and they're forcing PJ Washington to shoot threes above the break instead of the corner and things like that. It's just those small things that people don't really think about when they're building a team or when they're you know playing from series to series. Um, it's just funny because they got bit by the same thing that Minnesota did the series before. Like Minnesota didn't have enough players that could shoot the ball at a high level, and then the same thing happened to Dallas when they played, when they played Boston. So obviously you want to add some more shooting, maybe some more versatility, but I think you got Luka, you got Kyrie, you got Lively and Gafford, Derrick Jones Jr. I think they bring back. You still want Josh Green to continue to add to his game. Jaden Hardy want him to add to his game. So they still got a lot that they can build with. I don't know. I feel like sometimes players and teams got to take these kinds of moments, and I'm not saying that they didn't, but you got to take these moments more like a once in a lifetime kind of thing because you don't know if you'll get back. And I know a lot of people were talking about the way that Luka played in Game 5 and how he didn't look like he was, like he actually cared. And I don't want to say whether or not he did or didn't, but let's go Haley. I do think some players and teams don't. They get to a certain spot and they're like, all right, if we lose, we'll be back next year. Like you don't know that you can never get back to that spot again. Like there's a lot of teams that have been in the finals one year and then the next year they're not even in the playoffs, and there's a trickle down effect for years to come. So it's just weird how certain teams just I don't know. I just feel like there wasn't the sense of urgency in Dallas like it was NBA Finals, and it was weird to see just because I don't think they weren't playing hard, but I feel like they didn't play like it was the NBA Finals, if that makes sense. So it's just I don't know. I think one team was like hell bent on winning a championship, and the other one was like, "Oh, we hope we can win the championship." I don't think Dallas really believed that they were going to go win.
Yeah. Shout out to Dallas though. They did make it here. Um, I mean, falling short in their efforts, but I mean, hmm, it's this Boston team versus really was just that team, Like they, I know everybody wants to kind of downplay their journey to the championship and even downplay the finals, but they had to play who was in front of them. You still got to play games, and they still took care of business. They gentlemen swept every series in their path to the finals, bro. We gotta. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna talk back. I mean, not talk about. We're gonna talk about this team looking back and seeing how good this team really is, and we really gonna see how good this team is if they stay together for next year. Um, but I mean, yeah. So I mean, shout out to Dallas. Dallas did get here. Dallas did have a tough route to the finals. Some players underperformed. Like I don't know. Just I guess something was up with Kyrie, bro. Just was not normal what we saw. But I don't know. Just they just met a better team. I think honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were overmatched, but
Yeah.
I still think there was a competitive level or a level of competing, a higher level of competing that they could have reached, in my opinion. But that's just me watching from my house, so I could be wrong on that. That's just how I saw it from my vantage point. But I know they already put out like the odds for next year, which is crazy. Like
As they always do.
we don't even know what players are going to be where, so it's hilarious that Vegas be moving that quick. But um, Anything else you want to talk about the finals?
Bring Larry OB back on the court, bro. Like this
Absolutely.
finals did not feel like a finals, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, this felt like 5 games. It did not feel like a finals at all. It had no like the finals is losing its, as the kids say, aura. You know, it's losing its like its touch, its identity.
I can
Like,
see.
hold
I can
on.
see.
He being a finals just need to be the finals again, bro. I remember old finals intros and stuff, and how it seemed like the NBA cared about the finals, and instead of it just being 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not 9, 4 to 7 games, and they just televising it or whatever. It's like, oh, we got to do this. That's what it seems like. They're not putting anything towards it, like it's making it a big deal like they used to, man. And that sucks. Um, so yeah, NBA needs to do a better job promoting the finals or just doing things around the finals. I hate them CGI like computer um ads that they put on the damn court. Like, no, man, give us the Larry B back on the court, bro. Give us the old finals logo, bro. That's all. That's all we ask for. Adam Silver, listen to us, man. Listen to the damn consumer. Listen to the consumer of your product. But I won't be surprised if it comes out that the Sky versus Fever game, brought in more views than the NBA Finals this year. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. But shout out to the Mavericks. Shout out to the Celtics. Um, I want to say any game was like really, really like good, like down to the wire. It's like every game was like a blowout, basically, wasn't it?
Game 3 was close, I believe. No, game 2 was close after the comeback.
Yeah.
Or was it game 3 that they came back? Yeah, it was game 3 that they came back and almost won. Um, where Jaylen Brown had to hit the dagger jumper. But
Shout out to
I
Jaylen Brown, man. Highest paid player in the league. No left, but got that Finals MVP in that left hand.
see, here you go.
I'm
You're
just
the
saying, bro.
same as you,
I'm
dude.
joking, bro. Hey, who would I be if I wasn't me, man?
What?
I said, who would I be if I wasn't me?
What kind of sense does that make? Who would I be if I wasn't me?
Exactly. Anyways, Jaylen Brown, man, played his butt off. Um, he didn't get 5 by 28, but he did get 1. So shout out to him. Um, this 10 played well. Um, yeah, Celtics just the most complete team out of everybody, bro. Just top to bottom, bro. Like they had shout out to Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday had a hell of a finals, bro. Hell of a finals, man. This finals performance is definitely better than his finals performance in Milwaukee, I believe. Um,
Yeah,
congrats to the Celtics, man. Been at 18. They finally got it.
I feel like the I feel like the series, the last few final series haven't been bad per se. It's just the matchups haven't been what the casual fan or something that can like lock you in just by the thought of like, oh, these two matching up tonight. Like we would have hoped that Tatum versus Luka was something that would, lock us in. And I'm not saying that it didn't. It just
Mm-hmm.
for two players that are as close in age and in league stature as they are, with both of them having 4 to 5 first team All NBAs. It just didn't feel like they, used the marketing or marketed the series the way they could have. I think people have been just so like, oh, Luka's 100% better than Tatum, which if you think that, I'm not arguing because I don't have I don't have the bandwidth to deal with that. But I just feel like the marketing hasn't been fantastic for the finals the last couple of years, and I think they, the NBA has banked on having a LeBron or a Steph or a Kobe or a Tim Duncan or a Shaq or a Dwayne Wade or one of those names, even a Dirk, having just all-time great names at least in the series. Like even so, like 2021, you had Giannis, and then you had Devin Booker, you had Chris Paul. Like Chris Paul is a notable name, but it's not like, I guess you could say he is up there because he's played on Olympic teams and things like that. So it makes sense. But to see like people just like, oh, this series wasn't good, or no one cared about the finals because of this. Like, if you didn't like the finals the last couple of years, you probably just don't really like basketball. Honestly, like the final series, like last year was Nuggets Heat. Like that wasn't a bad series. It was just circumstances that led to, a great Nuggets team playing an 8-seeded Heat team, and when it got to a certain point, that the Heat were undermanned. Like, and not in terms of health, they weren't good enough. Obviously, Jimmy was dealing with an injury, and Tyler Hero, been trying to play through an injury. But I mean, they were relying on Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Caleb Martin to give them 15 to 20 points a night. And at a certain point, they weren't able to do that. And it was just, there was more reliable pieces on Denver. And then 2022, people enjoyed the series because Steph was there. 2021, people enjoyed the series because Giannis had, a fantastic, phenomenal series where he ended the series on a 50-point game, or with a 50-point game. 2020 was the bubble year, so it was kind of like mixed reactions. Like Braun was in the finals, but people try to talk down on it because it was the bubble. And then 2019 was probably the last one where people, were at their peak in terms of being super tuned into the finals, and everybody just enjoying the game. I mean, the Warriors and Raptors series was super fun, so it makes sense. But I don't think there's a real issue with the way the finals have gone. I think with parity, it just, you never know what teams are going to be there. In past years, you kind of guess what teams would be there. Obviously, a lot of people had picked the Celtics out of the East. Some people picked the Bucks. And then the West was kind of, at a certain point, it was like 4 or 5 teams that you felt could honestly get there. And Dallas is the team that ended up getting there. And if you asked at the beginning of the season, they probably would have been like the 6th or 7th team that you would have picked to get to the finals. So it's just really interesting to see, the change from year to year. Like a couple years ago, we were or not less than 10 years ago, we were in a super team era. Then we had teams try to do that, didn't work. And then you get to teams just trying to build a good roster around some superstars. So I'm curious to see if the organizations continue to go in the way they are now, or if there's still organizations, owners, GMs that are still going to try to, oh, no, 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 no. What the fuck, man?
What?
Ron just did a Euro step and fucked her ankle up.
Oh, damn, man.
That shit just ruined my whole mood, bro.
Ooh, my back hurts.
Oh, she stepped on Courtney Williams' foot. Fuck.
Damn.
I just lost my whole train of thought. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. All in all, like, NBA Finals is the finals. It's kind of like Christmas. Like,
yeah,
when we were kids, it felt different because it was like, oh, like, I put it this way: when we were kids, we were watching basketball, but we weren't watching to the extent that we're watching it now. We're watching NBA, or we're watching some kind of basketball every single night for however many months, from October to June. And when we were kids, we were watching like the national televised games, or whatever games we could catch. We weren't watching games every single night, and if we were, it was like 1 to 2. Now we're trying to watch as many teams as possible every single night. I think that has to do with a little bit of like, I think by the time we get to June, there's a little bit of fatigue because we had watched so much basketball at this point. And I don't think that's I don't think, the season ending in June is a bad thing, or 82 games is a bad thing. I just think at a certain point there is like a fatigue to it. And obviously you're excited for the finals, but unless there's like a 100% like, oh, I'm excited, but like I want to watch the finals because of this, or I'm super locked into the finals because of this, then you're watching, but you're like, okay, I'm watching this because I love basketball, or like I'm gonna enjoy this because I love basketball. And a lot of people are like the opposite of that. Like, oh well, I don't have my favorite player's not in there, or this player's not in there, so I think this series is blah blah blah. So it really, I don't think there's anything that needs to like necessarily change. Obviously, they can market it better. They can put the the trophy back in the center. But I just think a lot of us fans that have grown up watching, we're getting older. Like,
yeah,
obviously, like the Super
I
Bowl.
think
The Super Bowl is different because it's just one game.
yeah,
When you have the playoffs, like, and it's one game leading up every week of the playoffs, or in the playoffs, it's one game and you're out.
yeah.
In the NBA, it's 7 games each series. Even if the series is Boston versus whoever, and who's gonna win the series, they still got to play
A best
at
of
least
7.
4. So that can take away some excitement. People watching, and then sometimes it's like there was a lot of blowouts. Like
Yeah,
this, like the way that the NBA is played now is a lot of 3-point shots, and if you're hitting your 3-point shots, then and other
3 is
teams
more than 2.
get a big lead. So, and then a lot of teams go on crazy runs, and just you either respond or you don't. And if you don't, then the series or the game is over essentially. And if you do, then we have the close games that we all like to see. But at the end of the day, it's still basketball. It's still the NBA Finals. Like, people say the same thing about the World Series. Like, the World Series, like, you could say like, oh, this team and this team's gonna get there. Damn near every year is at least one team that nobody was expecting to get there, or at least like close to getting to the World Series.
Yeah.
Who won it last year?
Who did win the
The
World Series
Rangers.
last year? Yeah,
The
Texas.
Rangers.
Yep.
Like, before the season, I didn't think the Rangers
I
was
was
going
not thinking the
to
Rangers
the
were
World
gonna win it.
Series. And maybe it's because I'm not like a big, like, I don't follow baseball fully, but
Neither
like,
do I.
I don't remember the year before the Rangers being like, oh, the Rangers gonna be up here
Tough.
to win like a World Series. Like, I know like the Yankees, um the Dodgers, teams like that, like they're always at the top and people always expect them to go. And then you had the Braves.
Rays are nice.
So I think had won the year before, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
won 2021.
They won in 2021. They won that long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, did the Astros win in 22?
I think the Astros might have won in 22.
Okay. So
I think it's been Braves, Astros, and then who won it last year? Rangers, and then whoever's this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I just think it's kind of like a Christmas thing. Like, when we were kids, we enjoyed, getting up and opening presents and things like that. And now we're getting older, we're buying presents.
Yeah.
And we're getting presents, but it's like we already knew what we were getting because we told people this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
Now we're older, and one, we know more of what to expect when it comes to basketball. Like, when we're kids, like, there's a foolish like, oh, I want this team to win. I want this team to win. And you still do that as an adult, but at the same time, what I don't want to know what's gonna win, but like, people that were like, oh, I got Dallas. They picked Dallas because they wanted Dallas to win, not because they thought Dallas was the better team.
Yeah.
So like, when you're a kid, that's when you're like, oh, like when I was a kid, when Detroit went, almost anybody who played Los Angeles in the playoffs or the Lakers in the playoffs, I was rooting for, because my whole family was Lakers fans. So I was rooting for the Spurs. I was rooting for the Pistons. And as a kid, I didn't realize that the Pistons were an underdog at the time. I didn't realize that the Spurs were the underdog. I just, I didn't want them to win, so I was rooting for a team. Now it's like, it's just basketball. Like, I understand it more than I did as a child. So watching the finals and things like that, it's not really like, oh, I can't believe this, or I'm expecting this. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like, I think it's just getting older and just growing and maturing as a fan. I think there's multiple things you can do to
Yeah,
like finals.
I think it's because I don't know. I mean, you would think with Luka being a budding star that people would watch more and like I mean, like I saw it in real time. Like I saw people out in Luka jerseys pulling up to the spot watching the game. Um, I mean, it's a lot of Celtic fans though too. Celtics have been around since the beginning of the NBA. Like their fans are cemented. Um, their fans are all over. So I think if maybe the Timberwolves would have beat the Mavericks, we probably would have had a little more of a like build up here, or I don't know. Just I feel like part of
They're,
entering a new era of the game is try to feel out okay who the new superstars are, or whatever. Like I feel like if the Celtics are in the finals again next year or in the conference finals again next year, like yeah, it's gonna have some build up, uh, along with whoever else is in the conference finals or whatever. Like the Mavericks make it to the conference finals again, or they make it to the finals again, and knocking at that door. Because I think about the past finals and about why those finals were what they were is because of who was in them. Like you had LeBron James in the Miami Heat in the finals. You had Steph Curry up against LeBron James in the Cleveland Cavaliers for 3 years in the finals. You had who else? Trying to think of like big final. Oh, Celtics and the Lakers meeting twice in the finals. The Lakers going to 3 straight finals. Um, the Spurs and their run during our early childhood or whatever. Just the players that we had in the finals each year was always a superstar. It's outside of like certain years, like I don't know. I'm trying to think. There was always a superstar on one of the teams. Maybe
yeah,
not necessarily a superstar that won every year, but it was always a superstar.
yeah.
So, um,
Notable, like everyone knows
a
superstar. Like,
reason why I'm tuning in,
yeah.
yeah,
And if I ask my coworkers, like, oh, who's playing in the NBA Finals? Like, they wouldn't know. But if LeBron or Steph Curry was in there, they'd be like, "Oh, I watched the finals last night because Steph or LeBron played." Like,
yep.
there's some there's so many people
Losers.
that have watched the finals just because Steph or just because LeBron was in it, and that's not a new thing. That's always been a thing. It's just, um, building new stars, and you had to build up Steph. Steph wasn't a star in 2012,
No.
2013, 2014. Like, he had to build himself up, win an MVP, and take the world by storm. Go get
Mm-hmm.
a championship. And now, oh, boom, LeBron is already at his peak. And, we got this young team, these young dudes trying to take him down by shooting threes, which was pretty unprecedented at the time. So
Oh yeah.
that opens up a can of worms, and boom, LeBron comes down, or LeBron and Kyrie come back from 3-1. And now,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just, you got to have some kind of like trickle down effect. Like, we got Giannis one year, we got Jokic one year, we got Luka and Tatum one year. It's like we haven't had back to back, appearances or anything like that. So it's like it's a new face every year. Let's go, Haley. Come on now, stop playing with her, bro. God, I can't stand Tanisha Ray, bro. Golly, bro. Damn. Like, oh my gosh. Like, let her play basketball, bro. Please. Like, this shit is a simple game, and you be acting like this shit is difficult. My bad. This is NBA pod. I'm over here.
No, no, you good, bro. You good. You good. You
That
are
shit is,
good. NBA draft for next week though. Then we got summer league.
yeah.
Who are you looking forward to seeing get drafted and where?
My dog Rob.
Definitely
Rob.
interested to see who picks up Rob.
Because if he fall to us, GG's. GG's. Because
Nets
I
ain't got a draft pick. Nets ain't looking to draft or make a move toward a draft pick. I don't know. Hey, we could see some shit on draft night, but
people are
yeah,
saying that Rob was going to drop out of the top 10, which I feel like is crazy.
I feel like
But
in this draft, Rob would be definitely lottery.
I'm curious to know why people think Reed Shepard is a better prospect than Rob Dillon. I just want to know
Hey
like
man, he's projected third.
I just want to know the reason. I'm not saying I necessarily disagree. I just want to know people's thought process on it, really. So, um, let's see. There's some guys that I've seen in the past or in the past couple of years that I mentioned, like Stephon Castle. Uh, I feel like he's got really big boom or bust potential. Like he could either be
I thought he was coming back to college.
nah, Stephon Castle.
Yeah. Huh? I must saw that wrong then.
He could either be like a Kawhi Leonard type. Not saying like Kawhi Leonard, like 2 Finals MVPs, all that, but like the
That
way
kind of
that
player, the way he
yeah,
plays.
that kind of mold, or he could be like a RJ Barrett slash um like DeAndre Hunter kind of. Um like just in terms of like the the ceiling to floor, not necessarily like in terms of game style or play style.
Yeah.
Um, Modest Buzelis, I didn't see a lot of him in G League Ignite, but I remember hearing about him
Yeah.
that. So I'm curious to see where he lands and what he can do. Um, Hoodie Williams is a pretty good prospect. I like what I've seen from him. Um, they got Rob Dillingham going at 11 to Chicago, which wouldn't really make sense because they got a bunch of guards already. Um, Nikola Topic, interested to see where he lands.
Another Nicola at the Nicola factory.
Another Nikola, another Itch, another Topic, like Tokic, Jokic, Jovic, Bogdanovic, like Radmanovic. Like I don't know.
I
They
really want
got
to see what Atlanta does. I mean, I feel like obviously everybody's talking about Alex Sarr is how you say his name.
yeah.
Yeah, being number one pick. I just want to see how it works out for Atlanta.
I want to see what they're gonna do. They gonna trade it? Are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna build? What we doing? What we doing?
Right, because they got the number one pick and they still got Trey Young and Johnson Murray on that squad.
Yeah.
That's
I want to see.
intriguing.
I want to see what Jeremy Kane does too.
Same. I feel he'd be a good pro. He's a
And
good shooter, and he's probably one of the better shooters in this draft class. I mean, I haven't done a deep dive. I'm not the draft expert I was last year, but Jerry McKay is a good shooter though. One of the better shooters in the country this past season. Um, I would like to see how he. I would like to see who picks him up and how he's used. And I hope he has a good career because he's a good player. Get it done on both ends of the floor. Um, just a hard worker, bro. I know he got a lot of flack for off the court stuff, but I mean, end of the day, the boy's a hooper. So
who?
Jerry McCain.
Oh, we said got a lot of flack, like he got like arrested or something.
No, I mean like just criticism, like unnecessary, like dumb criticism for stuff that wasn't even involved in hoops.
I'm gonna let it slide.
Let it
Um.
slide. Let it cha cha slide. Let it electric slide. Let it Cupid shuffle.
Anyways, um,
Can't
I
wait
would
with it.
my favorite prospect outside of Rob and Reed, because obviously they went to Kentucky and stuff. Might be Carlton Carrington. I love his game. Like just seeing what I've seen from him at Pitt. Now I'm not gonna act like I watched a bunch of Pitt games because if y'all watch the pod, listen to the pod, y'all know I was locked in, like all the way locked in on his basketball this year and last year. So um I didn't watch a ton of live games, but seeing seeing some of his highlights and things on YouTube and on Twitter and things like that. I really like the way that he plays. I like his mentality. I don't know. I think a little bit of it. He's lefty, so it looks a little different. But I like the way he plays. He kind of gives me like a Tyrese Maxey vibe, kind of, but a little bit taller. Come on, Haley. The hell. Come on, lock in, bro. Ah, I said left-handed. He's not left-handed. I'm bugging. I think it's somebody else. But he does remind me of Tyrese Maxey a little bit. Drop, 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 drop. Drop up in it, I was really trying to keep it PG. Ooh, what? Who was that? Ooh.
Now I'm watching this Kendrick thing, bro. They are saying Euphoria word for word. That boy Drake is done. But yeah, man. Let me look at the draft big boy real quick, cause I can't even. I don't even know. Like I'm Joe. Okay. Oh my goodness. Didn't know every word to this though. He even got to sing himself. Oh, Dog Connect. How can I forget about Dog Connect? Dog Connect, nice. Love Dog Connect's game. That boy tough. That boy good. I like Dog Connect's game a lot. Interested to see where he falls, and he'll be enjoyed to watch in summer league. Tariq, why do you have that face?
I'm not confident. I got on you last episode, so I'm gonna let you live this one.
Dog
But
Connect tough.
I know you know why I'm making that face.
Why?
You really want me to go there?
Tell the people.
What Dog Connect hoop like?
Who fucking nice?
That's not the words that you want to use.
Dog Connect's move, man.
Mm-hmm. So he hooped like he hooped like
He was like a bucket getter.
he hooped like Kyle Korver. He hooped like Tyler Hero.
He was like Tyler Hero.
And who Tyler Hero hooped like? He hooped like Doug McDermott, or he hooped like Jordan Poole.
More like Jordan Poole.
Interesting.
He a bucket getter, dog. He dropped 40.
You look like he the first person to ever drop 40.
He ain't the first person to ever drop 40, but
It's
shout
mad
out to him
dudes.
though.
It's mad dudes that drop 40 that you don't be like,
Shout
oh,
out
he
to
not.
him.
You be like, oh, I mean, he all right. So let's not pretend like just he dropped 40. That's why you like, oh, he tough.
I mean, I've seen his game though. I fell in love with his game, bro. He tough. I like the way he plays. He's a bucket getter, bro. He knows how to get. He know how to get to it. He know how to get busy.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see where Bronny James falls to.
Yeah.
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 I said we're in the second round.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up second round, either or late first round. Tyler Kolek is another guy that's pretty nice too.
I like Tyler Cole's game.
Who else? Zach Edey. I'm interested to see where Zach Edey falls
Yeah, that's an interesting prospect
because
right
he's
there.
2-time player of the year and he's projected outside the lottery or late lottery.
I mean, that makes sense
I
because
mean, yeah, because we've had players of the years before and not really be like big time like lottery picks or just big time players. Like I can think of what like Doug McDermott was a player of the year that was drafted late.
he drafted like 11 or 10 or something like that.
Really? I thought you fell out the lottery.
Yeah, because he got traded. I want to say he got traded for Gary Harris, right? Like that draft pick was traded from.
Because he went to Chicago, didn't he? He got
Yeah,
drafted by Chicago, right?
I want to say he was like between 9 to 11.
Okay. Who else is there? You got Cody Williams. He is Jalen Williams' little brother. Pretty cool, pretty tough. Um, Isaiah Collier. Interested to see where he goes. Khalil Ware, he's good. Um, Kyle Filipowski. I'm really interested to see where he goes. Obviously, being that he's a Duke guy.
No, no. Worry
Well, there's
about
some
it.
people that haven't watched the show before that don't know. So, anyways, man. But yeah, draft is next week. Summer league is a couple weeks after that. Um, Free agency is coming up. Paul George to Philly.
Joel Embiid was eyeballing him when he said we need to bring in some more help. And he said, AKA the dude to the right of me.
And also, Paul George came out and said like winning a championship ain't the most important thing on his list anymore. He said,
Boo.
"I'm like, man, he wants to go out and play basketball the right way." He said, or play basketball like where it makes sense. Something he said in his podcast, and basically he's like, "Oh yeah, he's trying to
Yeah,
secure the bag." And I'm like, "Yeah, obviously secure that bag for your family, bro."
man, go get a ring, bro. Because then you're gonna be looking back at your career like, man, I wish people would talk about me like this, or I wish I
I
had
wish I
this.
had that ring.
Mellow, boy could have gone to damn Chicago. I was like, I'm gonna stay in New York. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this bread. And it ended up getting shipped to OKC. Then got shipped to Houston, and then got cut and was out the year for or out the league for a year. He'd have went to Chicago, he might have had him a ring because they had a squad there.
Yeah,
But
but hey, he got 4 gold medals, so
honestly, but
not the same.
impressive nonetheless.
Yeah.
Do want to give a shout out to Cam Brink, um, for ACL. So she will be out obviously for the rest of the season. She will miss the Olympics, which hurt me the most. Like the fact that she's not gonna be able to play in the Olympics, really,
I
because
was
like
looking forward to seeing Olympic Cam, man.
seeing the emotion she had when she was given the jersey, and they told her that she was coming to 3-on-3 team. Like that's what it's about. I mean, you see these players, and some people we see like their workouts, but a lot of people, especially in the W, we don't really see like their work behind the scenes and how
Hmm.
much put into their craft. And for someone like Cam Brink, who has been playing at a high level since she was 13, 14 years old, finally getting to that moment of, getting to represent her country in the Olympics. And it's weird. Like it happened last Olympics in the 3x3. Like Katie Lou got sick right before, and they had to, change course. But I feel bad for her and, wish her nothing but a speedy recovery. I know when she comes back, she's gonna be even better than before, but it does suck to see her rookie season end like this because she showed some really, really good flashes, and she showed that she's gonna be a really good player in this league. Bro, Haley be getting fucking hacked and they don't be calling nothing, bro. Like it be the same way they be people be fouling other people the same way and no calls. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Every time Haley drives to the basket, they push her. No foul. Like she just falling just to fall. Or come on, make it make sense. What do you think about JJ Redick being expected to be the next LA Lakers head coach?
It's a Lakers move for sure. Um, I say that. I mean, I think JJ is one of the better basketball minds out there. In terms of coaching the Los Angeles Lakers, though, I feel like it's probably setting him up for failure. You know, like I don't think that's the first. I don't think that's like a head coaching job that he needs like as his first job. Because as long as LeBron is there, bro, any head coach that comes in is under a microscope, bro. Any coach that comes in is gonna be under a microscope and every little thing. I mean, because it's the ESPN. You know, they talk about LeBron. LeBron got eliminated months ago. LeBron's still topic of conversation on First Take on ESPN on SportsCenter.
That's another thing about like the finals not being marketed. Like y'all starting the show with, oh, LeBron said this.
LeBron unfollowed Kendrick Perkins.
Like, who cares? I didn't even know who was following Kendrick Perkins.
It shouldn't even matter who LeBron is following on Instagram's social media, whatever. Like, why is that a topic on my sports channel? Like, worldwide leaders. Let me stop.
I was the same thing.
Let me stop. But nah, man, just I don't know. I hope he does well. You know, I like JJ Redick. I'm a fan of JJ Redick. Obviously, JJ Redick is the reason why I am a fan of Duke. So obviously, I want to see him do good. You know, obviously, I want to see the Lakers do good as well because I don't know. It just got to a point where like it just sucked so long. Pause. Whoa. Lakers have been bad so long. That is just like, bro, you want to see him get it together someday, you know?
They just won a championship in 2020.
Yeah, but since then it's just been like,
they've been in the playoffs every year except for one. Except for one.
They made it to the conference finals last year too. So I'm tripping. I mean, I don't know. It's just the way the media make it seem like they are just the worst. The media make them look like they're the Pistons.
It's because they didn't win a championship. That's it.
The media makes them look like they're the Pistons, bro.
That's because.
That's why I say it's a bad job for anybody coming in. Like Darvin Ham, like even him coming into this season under a microscope, you know. Frank Vogel, bro. Frank Vogel won him a championship. And they fired him through Twitter, through a Woj bomb.
Yeah, that was kind of weak.
And they did it again in Phoenix after a year. It's crazy, bro. Monty Williams got fired by Detroit. Since you want to
shout out Monty.
Man got $65 million though.
He gets that bag.
65 L's to chill. You got, man. Hey, $65 million payout on Juneteenth is crazy.
Shout out to my brother.
Hey, Fashowski.
But I think it's crazy because he didn't want to coach. They just kept throwing more money at him. He was like, all right, fine. Like, all right, if you're gonna throw me this money, I'll coach. But I don't think his head or his heart was ever in it.
Yeah. Because things would have been differently if it were. Oh, this my song. Hold up.
Oh, wee. Oh, wee. Drop a 50 bag for the mob in the spot. I was really trying to. This man acting like we not podcasting. That's crazy. Sorry to the audio listeners. Man, Bryce is over here geeking out about a concert that he's not at. Imagine that.
I'm sorry. All Right by Kendrick Lamar came on. And if you know me, you know how important that song is to my life. So.
Okay. I take back what I said then.
Yes. That's like top 3 songs.
All right.
That's like top 3 songs of my life right there.
Right. We gonna be all right.
But yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Hoodie and Headband podcast show. You back next week. Preview the Commissioner's Cup. And all that other good stuff. Hope y'all enjoy your Juneteenth. Summer's here, officially.
Yeah. It's the 90s out here all week. I'm living it up.
It was cool today. It was like in the like 80s, like cool breeze. Like it's because it was like about the rain and stuff too, but it didn't rain. It did not rain on Juneteenth this year. It did not. It was a little sprinkle on the way back home, but it did not rain.
I love that 80 degrees there. It's like, oh yeah, 80. Here they be like, oh my god, it's hot. I'm like, man, y'all get on my nerves. Like, y'all don't even know. Y'all ain't even.
Y'all know what humidity due
Boy,
to
y'all don't know what hot rain feel like, boy.
Come on now.
It's raining while it's 90 degrees.
Come on now. Steaming.
Like
you look outside, steam come off the ground.
You look outside like
you drive out the pavement. You think you drive through smoke. You driving through steam, boy.
Stop playing with it. As soon as you walk outside, like, dang.
Kendrick got the whole city out, man. That's crazy.
Face, bro.
But anyways, man, get into this. I'm gonna tune into this concert full force. I'm gonna switch this New York hat for my LA for the one LA hat that I have, and enjoy the rest of my night,
etc.
Hey, y'all. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We be back to talk Commissioner's Cup next week. And yeah, man, y'all know what to follow us, man. Y'all see the apps on the screen. Y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share this with a friend. And all that good stuff, man. This has been another episode of Hoodie and Headband, man. Appreciate it. I did not say that. 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 I did not say that.
Appreciate y'all.